Dave.
I'm Michael.
And this week's topic is a little bit salesy, but we feel like it's very important. We want to talk about taking priority images from just a digital file or a small print to something much more substantial. Think about those images that are now on Facebook, and then go back a step and think about your images that were on MySpace, and if you're even older, think about your images that were on Friendster. You know that a lot of those get kind of lost in the shuffle, but there might be a handful that are worth thinking about doing a little bit more with. Mike?
Yeah, one of my tools when I'm deciding what snapshots that I've taken that I want to get printed up and put on the wall is I think about what are the images that I've gone back to multiple times. So there's a lot of times you'll throw them up on Facebook and never do anything else with them ever again. But there's always those great memories that you come back to a month later, 6 months later, and relive those. And if you're doing that, that's a sign that you should get them printed up and put them on your wall.
Yeah, so if you're logging in just to look at an image and you find yourself doing that repeatedly, think about printing it. And then the question is, well, what size do I print? Well, a 4x6 or a 5x7, a lot of times those do get framed, but they end up on a desk at home, a desk at work. And what we see happen is if you move, those smaller prints end up in boxes, and worst case scenario, sometimes they never even come out of the box when you get to the new destination. So think about if it's a high enough priority and it might become an heirloom, and we're going to talk about that next. I'll turn it over to Mike. Think about whether it's important enough for your kids or their kids to have. Mike?
Yeah, and especially when you're going through a loved one's belongings, the smaller prints aren't as big of a deal as the larger ones, the ones that were on display in a loved one's house that you were seeing every day, and really brings back the feeling of that house, not only just the memory of that picture.
Yeah, we find that the large wall prints are the ones that time travel, right? When you move homes, they make it back onto the wall in the new home. When someone passes away, it goes to the children, it goes to their children. So typically we're talking about 8x10, 11x14, or even larger, something that hangs on the wall in a home. Until next time, I'm Dave.
I'm Michael.
Okay.
I think we're finding subtopics too, just like as we're talking about topics, there's subtopics that we could, like, I was thinking like, talking about printing up off of Facebook, you'd never want to just like right click and save that image. You want to go back to the source file, especially if you're making it bigger.
There you go.
That's something a lot of people don't think to do.